become leaders, or a leader will take you where you want to go. But a great leader will take you not necessarily where you want to go, but where you ought to be. Once again, I'm happy that you have joined us here. Today we want to look at something short on leadership, where we are going to learn a few tips that may not really act as a prescription, but if you find it useful in one or the other, you may see how you can incorporate it in your leadership style or your leadership opportunity. All of us desire to be leaders. Maybe a few of us have had an opportunity to hold leadership positions. However, a leadership position does not make you a leader. It only gives you an opportunity to exercise leadership. That means that if you don't equip yourself with what is needed to be a leader, even if you go to that position to be a leader, it will be in vain, because the position is simply an opportunity to see if you can exercise the leadership that is in you. And now the big question is, what makes a leader a leader? Or who is a leader? A leader is somebody that has the ability to see ahead of the rest. In fact, one thing that defines a leader is that ability to see the changes that are coming ahead that the rest of us cannot see, to have a bigger vision, to have a dream that is bigger than the rest of us. That is what makes people trust you as a leader, because that ability to see ahead of them makes them trust you to make decisions on their behalf. Perhaps I would share a few differences between a leader and a manager. Most of us, we tend to manage instead of leading. What is the difference? In fact, in any organization, we need a leader and then we need a manager. Or if we have one, then you have to strike a balance between leadership and management. There are situations where you need to lead, and there are situations where you need to manage. Now, a leader is this person who will ensure that the ladder is leaning on the right wall, while a manager is this person who will ensure that we are climbing the ladder efficiently. So leadership is the ladder leaning on the right wall, whereas management, how efficient are we in climbing the ladder? That is very important. So once you have the right wall, or once the ladder is leaning on the right wall, then you can climb it efficiently. So leadership is ensure that the ladder is on the right wall. Management, ensure that you climb efficiently the ladder. So that means the absence of a leader, you may end up having the ladder on the wrong wall, and then you climb it efficiently, only to get faster to the wrong destination. So that is the first thing. The second thing, or the second analogy I want to use, is now that of the jungle. A leader will ensure that before you start clearing the jungle, it is the right jungle. A leader is this person who will climb the tallest tree, assesses the jungle, and then shouts from that top of the tree, wrong jungle. That means that we are clearing this jungle, yes, but it is not the right jungle. So leadership comes in where, before you start clearing the jungle, you must identify that this is the right jungle to clear. Now, it is very important that you have such a person in an organization, because once you have such a person, you'll always be moving forward. There are these bangles sometimes I come across that ask, between direction and speed, which one is most important? Speed may not be important if you are headed towards the wrong direction. You may move very fast, But what is the essence of moving very fast and then you are not going towards the right direction? So a leader is this person who will give you the direction, that this is the direction we ought to move. While now a manager is now this person who will be now concerned with how efficiently do we move in this right direction. So that means if you have a manager and not a leader, sometimes you may start doing things, but they are not the right things to do. So you are doing them so efficiently, but even in doing them so efficiently, they are not the right things. So that means they'll give you the wrong results in the first place. One challenge with managers are so adamant when it comes to change. They hardly change. They are so hard-lined on their stance. Managers are not receptive to new ideas. They know that this is how we have done it before and it has given us these results. So if it has given us these results, we need to keep on doing it. Yeah, it is true that sometimes we need to do these things over and over. It is Einstein who said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and imagining that you are going to get different result. So as a manager, if you think that you're going to do the same thing and then get some extraordinary results, you have a problem. Because as long as you're doing the same things, you are going to get the same results that you've been getting. But sometimes you may even get mediocre because times change, technology change, systems change. So if you are not receptive to change, that if you cannot have that ability to grow as a leader, you're really going to have a problem. So it is very important that we embrace growth as leaders. Once you have embraced growth, once you have embraced or you are able to accept change, then you're likely to get to higher levels in this leadership field. Now, maybe now as I'm coming to or I'm nearing the close, there's this question that most of us ask ourselves: as a leader, where are you supposed to lead from? And there are 3 key positions that you're supposed to occupy as a leader that will make you a great leader. Number 1, there are times you're supposed to be in front or you're supposed to be ahead. The reason as to why there are times you're supposed to be ahead, you're supposed to act as an example so that these people look up to you, so that these people have a model. You are setting footsteps that they can follow. And most people love somebody they can follow. So as long as you are ahead of them, they can easily follow your footsteps. So the first position is you are supposed to lead from ahead. You are supposed to lead as an example, not just in giving orders, but in ensuring that at least as they look at you, they have an example they can associate with, they have an example they can follow, they have somebody they can copy, and that is their leader. The second position you're supposed to occupy is now besides them. You see, sometimes when you are most of the times ahead, it gets to a point where sometimes you may find that you have left the people you are leading behind. So you need to walk besides them as a friend. You need to walk in them so that at least they can easily consult with you. You can easily share ideas together. And as you do that, now they have that even freedom to express themselves. Sometimes these people could be having good ideas, but because you have never moved closer to them, because you have never been on one-on-one with them, it becomes a problem. I really love managers sometimes. I love these great leaders who once in a while would even break the monotony or the bureaucracy of just sitting in their offices and taking their meals from there. Once in a while, calm down, mingle with these people, just listen to those stories they make. Once in a while, it is very important because they will freely share the ideas they have. So as a leader, not just ahead most of the times, but once in a while, come closer to these people, interact with them one-on-one, like the one that desires their best. And as you do that, they are going to freely open up and they would share. But as long as you are ever in the office, they may never be so free with you, and there are good ideas that they have that may never see the light of the day. The last position is this position where you just sit back and you allow these people you trust to take lead. That is a leader that has empowered the people they are leading. Some of these people have very wonderful ideas. The moment you allow them to exercise their leadership at whichever level, they now know this person trusts us. And once they know that this person trusts us, they are now going to bring very good ideas. In fact, sometimes you may discover that you have been having some weaknesses in your leadership that they are likely to rectify. So sometimes it's not just always being ahead. Sometimes just allow them. Just tell them that, in fact, just be like an advisor. Tell them that if it were me, this is how I would have done it. But now that it is you, do it your way, but this is the results that we desire. This is the direction that we are headed to. The moment you trust your people to that level, they are going to give their all. And as they are giving their all, it is to the betterment of the organization. Great people, trust me, your leadership will never grow beyond your growth as a leader. So that means if you are stagnant in terms of your growth, the organization will also be stagnant. So adjust, fasten your belt so that you become better. And as you become better, your organization is also going to become better. Lead not just from the front, sometimes be ahead as an example, sometimes besides them as a friend, and sometimes just behind them as somebody that you trust the people you lead. The moment you do that magnanimously, in a way, you're going to get the results that are going to amaze you, the results that are going to surprise you. I'm not saying that these are the best leadership techniques or the best way to lead, but in one way or the other, if you find one or two things that you can incorporate in your leadership system so that they help you, it would be my joy. And once again, if you find this content useful, just consider clicking the subscription button so that at least it can get to a wider audience, so that it can get to a majority of people. And as it gets there, that is our joy. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Till we meet again. Bye.